took me and a bunch of others who were nearby, and they wanted to make us secure. They took us to a men's room and shut the door and made us stay inside because they thought there would be more gunshots, and they had no idea what was going on. None of us did, but from one floor up, and all of a sudden, right near me, just maybe 3, 4, 5 feet away from me, that individual was trying to do. But the next thing I saw were a lot of police officers and other law enforcement grabbing him and getting him to the ground, and then grabbing me and taking me away for my own security, my own protection. It was just a very frightening moment, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. The security going into this event tonight, and I've been to about 30 White House Correspondents Association dinners. I had never seen security as tight as it was tonight. When I was coming in, walking in, my car dropped me off. Cars weren't allowed to get to the Washington Hilton Hotel, so I was a few blocks away, and I was walking towards the hotel, and you could see an enormous amount of security around the hotel. So they were clearly very, very worried. I was very, very worried, obviously, and then everything seemed to be going well until I walked out of the ballroom, and I was walking back in. The next thing I know, I'm hearing gunshots, and I'm pushed to the ground by law enforcement and taken away. It was just a very, very frightening moment for me personally, and I'm sure for so many others who happened to be in that corridor outside the ballroom when all this took place.
We can report now as well, Wolf, as we're hearing about these details unfolding. We are hearing that the President of the United States is in a safe location. We are also hearing that he does want to return. He does want to return. There is no intel of any foreign threat. That was prior to this dinner. You can imagine the amount of security in place. Can you just describe for the audience the security bubble that would be around the actual area of the ballroom entrance and what it would be like to try to get a weapon through?
Well, that's what doesn't make any sense to me, because the shooter in this particular case, and I was just a few feet away from the shooter, seemed to have gone through the metal detectors, but he had a weapon, and he was firing a weapon, at least a half a dozen, maybe 6 or more shots, and the noise was so powerful, it scared all of us. I of course, immediately knew what that noise was, that it was gunshots. But it was surprising to me because it looked like that shooter, who was then taken down by police, had gone through security for some way, managed to do it, and was firing gunshots just outside the ballroom where the President of the United States and many members of his cabinet, a lot of members of Congress. There were 1,000, maybe 2,000 people inside that ballroom when this was all happening outside the door. And coincidentally, I happened to be outside that door, and I was watching all of this unfold. It was just, an unbelievable, a very, very scary moment for me and for anybody else who might have been watching all of this unfold.
One bit of new information. We are told that the president does want to return, but we can also report definitively now the Secret Service does not want him to. So we will see where this ends up. I mean, obviously, it is still very much a chaotic situation. You can understand what the concerns would be. And Wolf, just to go back one more time at this information, and you are the first to report any of this, so it is so useful. Did it appear to you that this gunman had already passed, was inside the security bubble, inside an area where he would have already had to have passed through security?
It looked to me like he had, when he was shooting, he was inside the secure area where you have to go through metal detectors. You have to show your card, where you're sitting at which table, and they would ask a few questions. But it looked to me that gunman who was firing these rounds was inside the security area and had somehow managed to either evade or just managed to get through the metal detectors that were there. I went through the metal detectors, and they made me take my cell phone out of my pocket. All right. So people are leaving now, and the law enforcement is announcing everybody should leave, at least this area where I am right now, just outside the lobby of the Washington Hilton Hotel. So there's an enormous amount of law enforcement. I wouldn't be surprised if the Secret Service and others decide this is too risky right now. They don't know what happened. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what a motive was for this gunman to open fire like that. And so they want to make sure that not only the president, but everybody else and a lot of VIPs in Washington are protected. So it's just a risky, dangerous situation. And I assume out of an abundance of caution, they're going to want to tell everybody, go home. This is not a good time for all of us to be at the Washington Hilton Hotel. That's just my assumption. I have not been told that, but that's just my assumption.
Wolf, have you seen the area where the gunman was brought down? Do you see blood or anything on the ground?
I didn't. I saw where he was brought down because I was brought down by a law enforcement officer within a few seconds after the gunshots were opened, maybe 5 feet, if that, away from me. Then the policemen took me away. So I did not see any blood. I didn't see anything. I just saw the gunman on the ground. It looked to me like he had been shot. But, I don't know that for sure. And I didn't see any blood or anything like that.
All right, well, stand by, if you will, for a moment, because we are just getting some new video in. And one of the situations here is that there are a lot of cameras there, but they weren't always necessarily pointed at one place or another. It's hard to get a signal out. But we now do have some video of the moment where the president was rushed off the stage. Let us watch that now.
You know, what occurs to me as we're watching this as well, we just said Erica Kirk was in this room.
She was.
She was in this room
there are reports,
as well.
There are reports that she was seen crying as she was leaving the room as well. People who did see her there made that note. Obviously, this had to be very, very traumatic.
Can you imagine what this scene must be like, knowing not only the climate, but her personally, what she has been through as a now widow, not even a year in. We have sound from Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. attorney